One comment I've heard since we started on the new schedule is I don't know how to structure my class, given that the time is so short. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, how to structure your class given 35-minute class periods. And we're going to capitalize on our knowledge of chunking and especially our understanding of primacy and recency. So let's imagine that each of these letters, A through J, represents a related idea that we need to convey to our students. Previously, we would typically see this information being divulged somehow, and then we would give students time for independent practice. In a typical 55-minute class period, it would look something like this, where the students come in, find their seats, they maybe do some bell work while the teacher takes attendance, and then the teacher would describe this information to the students for a good chunk of time, and then they would have a stretch to practice independently while the teacher kind of wanders around answering questions, and then the students would pack up and take off for the day. If we remind ourselves about this idea of the primacy effect and the recency effect, that people remember the first and last things that they hear, in a 55-minute class period using this structure, the students are likely to forget a lot of the things that were described in the middle. In this case, everything between C and H. Using that same structure and breaking up the same information into two separate 35-minute periods makes it more likely that the students are going to remember everything that you told them, because when the beginning and end of the expository is closer together, there's less in the middle for them to forget. Remember, in the 55-minute period, we said they were likely to forget everything between C and H. In this example, they're now going to probably remember D, E, F, and G. Keep in mind, we've spent the same amount of time explaining the information, 15 minutes in one period, 15 minutes in another period instead of 30 altogether. However, the shortened period is a better use of our time. Even though we spent 30 minutes either way explaining the information, by chunking it, we're increasing the likelihood of them remembering more of what we're telling them because there's less in the middle for them to forget. We could even take it one more step and break each one of those 35-minute periods into two chunks, leaving just 7 minutes of instruction for each piece. Then there is virtually nothing in the middle to be forgotten. Everything is beginning or end and then practice and or formative check.